old man receives kindness. Once upon a time, in a bustling city, there was an old man who slept on the street. He was dressed in tattered clothes and had a weathered face with deep wrinkles etched into his skin. People hurried past him, ignoring his presence, as if he was just another piece of garbage on the street. The old man's name was Henry, and he had been living on the streets for years. He had no family or friends, and his only possession was a beat-up old backpack that he carried with him everywhere he went. Henry spent his days wandering the city, searching for food and shelter, but mostly he was just trying to survive. Despite his hardships, Henry was a proud man, and he refused to beg for money or handouts. He would find odd jobs whenever he could, such as sweeping sidewalks or washing dishes at a local restaurant, to earn enough money to buy food and other basic necessities. But most nights, he would settle down on a quiet street corner and lay out a thin, raggedy blanket, using his backpack as a pillow. One particularly cold winter evening, Henry was shivering as he curled up on his blanket. His stomach was empty, and he had no money left to buy food. He closed his eyes and tried to sleep, hoping that he would somehow find the strength to make it through the night. But as the night wore on, Henry's condition worsened. His body was weak and his mind was foggy. He was starting to lose consciousness when a young woman walking by noticed him lying on the street. She hesitated for a moment, then knelt down next to him and gently shook him awake. "Excuse me, sir," she said softly. "Are you okay?" Henry opened his eyes and looked up at her. He was surprised to see someone showing him kindness and concern. "I'm fine," he mumbled, struggling to sit up. The woman handed him a sandwich and a bottle of water. "Here, please take this," she said. "You need to eat something." Henry accepted the food gratefully and began to eat. The woman sat next to him and started chatting, asking him questions about his life and how he ended up on the street. Henry was hesitant at first, but he could see the genuine care in her eyes, and he slowly began to open up. As they talked, Henry felt a sense of warmth and comfort that he hadn't experienced in a long time. The woman's kindness gave him hope, and he realized that there were still good people in the world who cared about others. From that night on, Henry's life began to change. He started looking for work more diligently, and he even made some new friends who helped him find a place to stay. But he never forgot the woman who showed him kindness when he needed it most. He often thought about her and wished he could thank her properly. Years went by, and Henry eventually became an old man. But he never forgot the lessons he learned on the street, and he continued to help others whenever he could. He often told the story of the young woman who gave him hope, and he always ended by saying, "She saved my life that night."